Hey friends of the internet, and welcome to my first video of 2026. This video is all about reflecting on 2025 and the importance of diversifying creative practice and going on creative side quests. I am just going to share a bit about what I got up to last year and obviously share some zines. So I didn't make as many zines as I wanted to or intended to, but that's okay because I had a very full creative curriculum. And I just also want to share something about 2025 and my creative practice is that a lot of it was for me, a lot of it was for processing, a lot of it was internal. So this is my favorite zine of 2025. It is based off of a clay sculpture that I made in one of the art process groups that I participated in. It's called Soft Hunger, Feed the Monster. Let me show you the sculpture. So keep in mind, this is a process art group, so this isn't fired or anything. This was just working with clay and intuitively making something, and then obviously writing and contemplating about what this sculpture means. So this is the monster side. And then we've got the face side. So it's the two-faced monster. I basically used all the writing that I did in that session and I turned it into a sort of creative philosophy of understanding how creativity works for me. Let's do a little read through. Soft Hunger, Feed the Monster. Translation of matter into meaning. This original work, two-faced clay sculpture, became the vessel for the zine publication. One receives and one releases. Together they form a cycle of nourishment, creativity, and return. So this is the contents. The mythical being. I was born with two mouths. One devours, one sighs. Between them a passage. I am the full cycle, from empty to full and back again. I am the hunger that feeds the soul, and the soul that feeds the hunger. The hungry one speaks, the meeting part 1. I am not here to take from you, I am here to receive you. I open my mouth and swallow the world whole, tasting it raw. Feed me your scraps and fragments, unpolished words, unfinished thoughts, deep desires, forgotten dreams. Feed me your confusion, curiosity. I don't know what this is, but it wants to live. The feeding ritual, meal prep, what feeds me, the permission to explore, the act of starting, the risk of not knowing. Feed the monster by playing, feed it by wondering, feed it by stripping yourself bare. Then we've got a little ritual for feeding. Go outside, find one texture, touch it, taste it in your imagination. Come back and make something without naming it. That is your offering. The digestion process, alchemy. You must acknowledge what you feed is not lost. This is the art of transmutation. It is the alchemy between hunger and expression. Creation digests the world into meaning, and meaning becomes the next meal. The human experience, the meeting, part 2. Who am I? The two faces share one body, one eye, one channel, one endless appetite for becoming. I am full, my eyes rest, my tongue touches air, the aftertaste of what has been made. The hunger has quieted and the making has spoken. I am the one. The creature plus the human does not equal separation. They are one. They are the inhale and the exhale of the creative life. It is my responsibility to nourish the hungry one, to keep feeding her with my curiosity, my sensation, and my time. To create is to feed is to feel is to open again and again, again and again, again and again. So if you want to trade, this is a zine that I can send you that I'm really proud of. It's also printed on sugar paper, and I'll probably print it on some different colors, but also I like the feel of the sugar paper. It's got like kind of a gritty, almost like newspaper texture, but a little bit thicker. So I will be making a few of these, and I think I'm also going to experiment in binding it in different ways. So this is a 3-stitch bind, but I think I'm wanting to do a bit of experimentation in binding. Which leads me to the next thing. The next creative side quest is bookbinding. Bookbinding, like, I'm sorry, what a craft. What a craft. I have so much respect for bookbinders. The stitching, goodness, it took quite a bit of brain power to get this right, but it was so rewarding to finish it. And so there's nothing in this journal yet because I'm not sure what I want to put in here. I don't know if I want to like write or if I want to do some collages in here, some creative journaling. I already have a lot of journals that I'm writing in currently, all for different things, but I think I'm just going to keep this one for as long as possible because it's the first one that I made and it looks so cool. I do have 2 grief zines that kind of help me put words and feelings and a bit of my writing into zines, because that's one of my things that I want to do more of. I just find it a bit difficult because it's such a vulnerable thing to share writing, because a lot of my writing is very much process-based. Everything I do is process-based, basically. It's not about the end product. First one is Grief Leaks, Let It. And this is sort of a bit of a poetical thing about grief and how it will always be pouring out of me, even when I don't want it to, but you have to let it come and you must feel it all. And then another one is Grief is a Portal. And this is sort of like my favorite format of making zines, because I just use, you know, a big A3 sheet, fold it to make a zine. It's my favorite. It's very accessible. It's very easy to, you know, whip one out. This one is also a good one that I made. Brown is a color, focusing on the color brown and how it is the color of my skin and the color of the earth, of roots and return. This was during Zine, what's that Zine challenge in July, that one. And then this one is really sweet. This one I made with my group of girls that I do ArtClub with. We all made a zine, but the zine is actually their words. So we focused on the concept of love. I showed them a very short little clip about bell hooks, and we did lino prints. So this was another thing that I was experimenting with last year, is doing lino prints, and it's the words that they've written themselves about what love is to them, how they practice love and what love feels like. So once they did all their writings and we did their prints, I scanned it and then made a copy for each one of them, and then we each made our own cover. So this is a very special one, so they each have their own copy of the zine. This is my one, so all of our covers look different, but the inside is all the same. I've obviously been writing a lot, so this is like my morning pages / like creative purge, using it as a place to just word vomit things that I'm feeling, things that I need to do, just loosening up the tightness in the brain. Just like there's lots that needs to be moved. Then this is another creative journal that I have. It is quite playful. It's quite free-flowing. Essentially what this is, I have a lot of these. So these were all my father's diaries that I cleaned out of his house. And he used it to just write his appointments down every day, and there were like a lot of them. So I thought I'm going to use it as just also a very informal sort of process art diary where I paint, draw, collage, whatever I want in here. So there's no aesthetic really for it. And I'm definitely continuing that in 2026. And then I've also been quite busy in the second half of 2025 with my junk journal, which I completed at the end of last year. Started this thing called the Anti-Precious Project. It's just for myself, where I use the lots of junk that I have in my storage box and just create, you know, some fun spreads. also a very low barrier to entry sort of way to exercise my creative muscle. Okay, so all of that's to say, I feel like this year I'm giving myself a lot of grace and space to explore. Once again, I'm not going to have a goal of trying to create X, Y, and Z or certain amounts of things because it's unrealistic, and I'm very much about the process. It really freezes me up and I feel blocked and I feel pressure that I put on myself when I feel like I need to create, to put things out onto the interwebs, which is not why I'm doing it, but like I just have so many ideas and so many concepts and so many things to explore, but not enough time in the day. You're not having too much of a goal, more like the intention to play, to experiment, and to do things. So if I was setting a goal intention for this year, it would be to challenge myself by doing more side quests. Yeah, just to play and connect more and see how I can care for myself in as many creative ways as possible. Thank you for joining, and I will see you soon with something new.